in the sun, moon, and stars. Here we are back at the wedding betrothal, ancient Israelite wedding customs. Our eclipse to eclipse sign of December the 25th, 2019 to December the 14th, 2020, the sign of the wedding betrothal. Let's dig deeper. Here we are at creationscience.org, the betrothal. In modern Western culture, we are accustomed to a man choosing a woman or a woman choosing a man for marriage. But in ancient Israel, families arranged marriages. The Apostle Paul said regarding the church, "For I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy, for I have espoused you or betrothed you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Christ." 2 Corinthians 11:2. When a father saw that it was time for his son to marry, he sent a servant to another village to find a wife for him, usually someone his son had never met. This servant went with the best offer his master could afford, maybe 10 coins of silver or gold. You will find that in Luke 15:8. He found the woman and made an offer for her to enter into marriage. If the woman's father was impressed and accepted the bridegroom's offering, he called his daughter for her response. She could say yes or no, but most likely would say yes because the opportunities for her to get married and her family were few. Here, I would like to say that in my life, I was not looking for God. God approached me through a servant, someone that presented me the good news of salvation. That was my chance, and I said yes. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up at the last day. John 6:44. The servant would leave part of the agreed payment and went back with the news. Once the groom's father approved the choice of the bride, the bridegroom would go to meet his bride-to-be for the first time. At this point began the betrothal, a 1 to 2 year binding engagement that had 2 stages, one spiritual and the second physical. Betrothal was also called Erusin, or Kiddushin, or sanctification, which comes from kadosh, or holy. Sabbath in Judaism is seen as the bride. Messiah is the bridegroom. In Christianity, the body of believers or church is the bride. And Yeshua, or Jesus, the Messiah, is the bridegroom. Okay, let's go to Google to double ring ceremony. Double ring ceremony. The engagement is commonly a matter of agreement between two. The wedding rings are chosen together. Both engagement and wedding rings are worn on the left hand, the bride having both rings together. Occasionally, the groom receives a separate ring. In the Jewish customs, we know that the bridegroom did not receive a ring, but that the ring was given to the bride. And what I found with studying these ancient customs and modern customs of marriage is it led me to the discovery of a couple of things. The first thing that I realized is in this Enoch code, we have a 3-stage wedding phase. The 3 stages of this I considered for many, many months as I was doing my research. And originally, from hearing from many watchmen, I was receiving messages that we were looking at the marriage of Jacob and Leah and Jacob and Rachel for the 14-year period, the first 7 years for Leah and the second 7 years for Rachel. But then in my studies, I realized that we're looking at the first bride being a Gentile bride. And so it would make more sense for us to be looking at the story of Ruth and Boaz for the first bride. So in the Enoch Code, we have 21 years. And in this 21-year Enoch Code, we have 3 sets of 7. And the first set of 7, I believe, is for the bride Ruth. And then the second set of 7 is for the Israelite bride. And the third set of 7 is for the Jewish bride. Remember, our master is a Jew. And ultimately, he is looking forward to his Jewish bride. And the first 2 brides are representation of him bringing in the complete church. And we see these signs in Pisces, with the 2-stranded nature of Pisces being the 2 different churches, or the double nature of Israel and Judah. But that doesn't account for the Gentile bride. And I believe that we see the Gentile bride sign coming up on September the 14th, 2020, where we see Amphitrite, Vesta, Basnina, and more signs in the constellation of Cancer, along with this moon and Venus, all showing us a great sign of the wedding as we approach towards the December 14th great eclipse and the final period of the 1-year betrothal.